confident over in Hanover that they can warranty their students. Students know what they're doing. They come out of there well prepared. Let's pick back up with that discussion before we run out of time. And two guests have joined us, new guests. Jonathan Lewis, who is principal at Lee Davis High School. Welcome, Jonathan. Thanks for coming. I can call you Jonathan, right?
Absolutely.
I still have this thing about, this trauma of when I used to go to school. I can't even imagine I'm calling a principal by his first name, so I'm a little nervous. But anyway, Mark Creery, who is representing the private sector data directions company. You're also an advisory board member, and welcome to you, Mark. We'll come back to you in just a second. Let me pick up with Jonathan as a principal. This must be, talking about my stresses, this must be very stressful for you. Here you're telling the public on a TV show and in the newspapers, we're going to guarantee our graduates, we're going to warranty them to business and industry. If they don't work out, we'll take the... I mean, gosh, isn't that a lot of stress for you?
It's really not stressful. I think the warranty program is outstanding. It's something we ought to be doing. And we're not really preoccupied with whether or not our graduates are prepared, because we've always felt that they've been prepared.
Yeah.
So it's not stressful from that basis at all. The concept of accountability, I think we need to be accountable for the quality of work that our graduates do. And on a practical standpoint, it allows our graduates to go out into the world of work with the confidence that we're confident that they're going to be successful.
Let's talk about, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let's talk about that confidence. What are you doing specifically? I mean, if I were principal at another school and I'm watching this program and say, okay, I'm going to make some notes, I'm going to steal some things from Jonathan, what are some things that you're doing to prepare these students for skills, employability skills we were talking about earlier, that really gives you that confidence that says we know when they walk out of the door, they're going to have the basics?
All of our students throughout their 4 years at school, throughout the curriculum, are the communication skills and the computation skills are addressed throughout the curriculum for all grade levels. At the 10th grade level, we offer an effective communication for employment program that all our sophomores go through. And that addresses most of the affective skills that are covered by the warranty. Later on in the 11th to 12th grade years, the students go through a career education program that Guidance sponsored. And a lot of materials in our career lab address those skills as well to reinforce the work done in the 10th grade. So I'm confident by the time that the students get through 4 years at school, they've achieved a level of competence in those skills.
What do you think the graduates are feeling? We heard from a couple of them earlier. What's the feedback you're getting? Is it pumping them up? I mean, do you think that it might be too early to say that grades are going to go up and things like that, but what effect do you think it's having?
I think initially there was some questions, what does this mean, a guarantee or warranty? And they kept thinking in traditionally how they hear about refrigerators and radios and things like that. But we talked to them about our concern for their preparedness and the fact that we had a lot of confidence in the work that they did. And then after they thought about it for a while, they became, I think it made them feel good. And I think that knowing that we have confidence in them bolsters their own confidence, particularly when they go out to apply for a job.
But, I mean, in its simplest form, I mean, students, we are all, but, students are products in a sense, right? I mean, you can really use that analogy that people want to be guaranteed that what they get works and what they see is what they get, right?
Well, I think in this day and age, it's very important, particularly in the world of work, for people in the business community to know that when we send someone out to go to work, that we have every confidence that they're going to do a good job. And that by warranting these students, we're saying, and if for any reason one should slip by, we'll be glad to take them back and work with them.
You can't beat that, I tell you, especially if they're business people watching the program today. Take note. These are going to be some great graduates to hire that are being prepared that Jonathan's talking about. Let me shift gears and go to the private sector for a second. Mark, you've been waiting patiently here, and I know that you've been very enthusiastic. Why do you support this program? Why do you think it's working?
Well, I think everyone realizes that part of the job of the school system is to prepare the young people for going into the job market. This makes it clear to me that the Hanover School is committed towards making sure they have the skills so they can get on the job and be productive immediately. And secondly, if you talk about this like a product, it gives me more confidence when I hire somebody. As one of your students said earlier, I don't feel like it's a gamble anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know if there's a problem, there's a remedy to the problem.
And you'll really be able to tell, I think, not to belabor a point, but if a Hanover graduate comes in with these communication skills and everything, you'll know pretty much the first day as a member of the private sector. If you're getting ready to hire somebody, you're doing a job interview or whatever, it really is going to make a difference right away. I mean, you'll know that these people know what they're doing, right?
Oh, yeah. Again, it'll make me feel like when I'm making a choice that they're going to have a certain set of basic skills and and they'll be productive in those skills. And then I can address training them about my specific job and not have to worry about teaching them math or reading, that sort of thing.
And that's been a big complaint with business. Now, what do you, from your standpoint, we'll play the negative side of this. What if you do get someone from the Hanover schools, and maybe you think their speech skills or computation skills could be a little bit better? Maybe you're not quite satisfied. What steps are you going to take? How are you going to react to that?
Well, I see it sort of as an opportunity right now. I've got a resource I can go to now that I couldn't go to before. I can call the school board up, the school, the principal, maybe Mr. Sadler, and say, look, we've got a problem here. What can we do to fix it?
Whereas in the past, you could just complain and go home and beat the dog or whatever and say, gee, my employees aren't doing such and such, and now you've got
Or maybe fire the person. And now we can bring someone on board, and hopefully we can reinforce that decision.
Salvage the job, and,
That's
then,
right.
and then that's more employment there. What kind of strengths and things are you looking for in employees that maybe will help people understand this will be a good deal for everybody?
I think communication skills are a big part of it. A lot of times you're concerned about someone coming on the job and not being able to handle skills on the telephone, not being able to write a legible memo, things like that. So I think that to focus in those areas are very important. And then the mathematical skills with emphasis on computers and such are obviously important too.
So I don't know what kind of summary you could possibly give. I mean, there's so much good news floating around in the studio today. I guess all I could say to sum up is, if you're sitting there as a manufacturer or business person that's getting ready to expand the workforce, or even in these recessionary times, you're looking for a few good quality people, you don't have to necessarily hire somebody that knows how to make those widgets the first day on the job, but they need to know how to communicate and learn and how to make those widgets. And what we're finding is the graduates from Hanover County are coming out of the school system knowing what it's all about and knowing how to communicate and having those skills that can make them good employees. So you'll be getting a good deal in the interim. So let's show you an address you can write to if you have any comments about what you heard on the show today, Education Today. You can write to 230 South Crater Road, Petersburg, Virginia, 23803, or call Dr. Baker at the Hanover County Schools, and he'll clue you in on what's going on with the warranty program. It's a great one. See you next time.